I have a client that messaged me about which way they should move in their business. It's a mortgage lending company, which right now that market is way down. A lot of people are going under in that business and they're breaking even, which is amazing. But like, how do we beat the market, right? So there's some heavy decisions that need to be made, and they're like, which way do we do it? Do we outsource something that our team is doing sort of well, or do we keep it in-house where we can control it more? Or like, if we're not financially there to do that, or we don't have the team or whatever it is, like, we don't know which way to go. A couple of things as I'm listening to them that are happening are, and maybe you get in this in your business or your life as well, is right now they're overwhelmed. So they are pivoting, which is fine as an entrepreneur. You pivot, right? When something's not working, we pivot. The problem is we pivot and then we bog down the team, and everybody has what I call Frankenstein roles. And in a Frankenstein role, they're doing so many different things that nobody knows what they're doing. So what's happening is the leaders are overwhelmed, the team is overwhelmed, and everybody's just doing, but they're more reactive than proactive. What needs to happen is, one of the questions I asked was, okay, well, where are the numbers for this decision? Like, let the numbers talk. They don't lie. There's not an emotion behind numbers. What is the cash flow for if you lay off the people on your team and take it and outsource this back end stuff? Like, what's the difference in that? Because long term, their goal is to have it in-house. So you have to really make a strategic decision. It's not just a pivot and let's decide. One thing they've got to do is get clear on their numbers. So overwhelm is simply a lack of clarity. And you can have a business plan and you can even have a strategic plan, but when you get in the day-to-day, sometimes you lose the clarity. Because something happens, right? Something happens and it throws us off. One phone call and we got to react to this, or something didn't work right. And all of a sudden we get back into that reactionary mode. Well, what happens is we lose our North Star. We lose where we're going. This is always going to be an issue. You've got to learn how to deal with the issue. And the issue that to be dealt with is how to shorten the time from being thrown off track till you're back on it. Most entrepreneurs are visionary. And visionary entrepreneurs are fantastic because they've got ideas all day long. But they stress their teams, and their teams get kind of what's called whiplash. I call it whiplash, because one day it's this, the next day it's this, and the next day it's this. And they're like, but wait, which one do you want me to work on? And I'm going to tell you right now, the visionary mind already has forgotten they gave them to you. You got to really kind of have somebody that is keeping that North Star, especially for the visionary person. They need a coach. They need somebody in operations. And I get this because I am visionary, but I can also do operations, but I still need a coach. All that to say, you have to shorten the time between overwhelm and getting back on track. How do you do that? You write it down, get it out of your head, put it on paper, everything that's rumbling around there. You have to have your goals and intentions clearly posted right in front of you every single day. Otherwise, you write them once a year and you forget to go look at them again until the end of that year. And you're like, oh, I didn't hit that or achieve that, but it's still important. Well, it's because it wasn't in front of your face. So when you're getting thrown off track, it's not there. So that's number 2. You've got to have them in front of your face. And then you need a weekly reminder set in your phone, on your calendar, where you spend 10 minutes a week reviewing them and making sure everything you're working on is to move one of those needles. It doesn't mean that those are the only things you're working on, because that's just not reality, but you've got to figure out how to move the needle. So those are 3 ways to shorten the time from, oh my gosh, I'm doing so good, to completely overwhelmed because something's happened to throw me off track, to getting right back on track. Powerful, and you will scale your business and your life faster.